As I said, we brought Bold360 and Ayehu together to form a use case of, in this case, reset password for an IT engineer to use. Manually, when an IT engineer will have to do this with Active Directory, as we will see next, there will be a few steps that they'll need to take. But from a chatbot point of view, all the IT engineer has to do is just ask, for example, I want to reset a user's password. Chatbot will then ask me for the username. The username here will be errors. What happens in the background right now is that the workflow on Ayehu is being run with Active Directory, resetting the password for errors, and providing some sort of response. In this case, you can see the phone number that I just got from Active Directory for that specific user, and the link for generating a new password was sent to my phone. Now, as we've seen it from the eyes of an IT engineer, let's take you to the other side, the backend console, starting with Ayehu. So before we check out why Ayehu threw me out, let's see Active Directory. We can see the user that's being set up on Active Directory here. That's the username. Then we have this user errors based in the New York City office. That's wishful thinking. And the phone number that we've just seen on the chatbot. On the Ayehu side, I will quickly log back in. This is the workflow designer. This workflow designer is just a studio where you can drag and drop whatever action that you would like to take in this workflow. Enables you to create these workflows in a matter of minutes. For example, I can take, I don't know, let's take display value right here, just throw it in, and bam, we have another step in our workflow. But then I don't think it's needed in this case. So let's remove it. And also the workflow I want to focus on is the one on your left-hand side. So the reset password workflow included a few steps, as I mentioned earlier, that for an IT engineer, they will have to be taken manually if they had to do it on their own. But when you automate this process, these few steps are all orchestrated by Ayehu. So starting with fetching the user information up here, then generating the password according to the password policy of the company. We're then resetting the password on Active Directory again and setting the new password in. Eventually, Ayehu will respond back to the web server, through the web service to the chatbot, and provide us with the information. Now, instead of adding a new step to this workflow, let's just simply change one of the steps here. This is how easy it is to work with the Ayehu workflow designer. So we have that integration. We get from the chatbot, we get the username up here. We have the integration itself set up. And the property I would like to then respond back eventually is the mobile number. But let's change that to something else. Let's pick office. We've seen errors in the New York City office. And I'm going to save this step and save the workflow entirely successfully. That's great. Now let's get back to the chatbot and reset that conversation. Now I'm going to ask again, I want to reset Erez's password, as I asked before. Now, instead of bringing back the phone number, we're getting back an error coming from Ayehu, basically getting another field thrown at us from Active Directory. Now, after we've seen Ayehu backend console in action, let's see Bold360AI and how everything is set up on the other side. Starting with the dashboard, this is the most powerful, the most important tool that you will have with your with the Bold360AI backend console. We call it Voices of the User's Dashboard. It brings you in real time everything that users are currently asking, all clustered according to the intent recognition that the AI engine provides with NLP and NLU. And it all comes in a form of this heat map right here. So you can see different tiles with the sizes and colors. Blue tiles essentially represent good self-service experience where users ask the question and receive an immediate answer that was accurate. And red tiles are essentially our optimization opportunity. Maybe a user asks a question that doesn't have an answer in our knowledge base, or maybe they escalated to an agent and we could not deflect this call. These are the opportunities to optimize the experience and make it even better and be able to later on deflect more and more tickets or calls coming into our call center. Now, I mentioned something about clustering. Obviously, we cannot display all the questions that are being asked, but with NLP technology, it clusters everything under one tile. All the questions, the different questions that form the same exact intent, they'll all appear under the same tile. So if we look at Outlook error, for example, we can see the number 6 on it. If I click on this tile, these are all the questions that users have asked that were understood by the AI engine as the same as the topic, as the article title that we see up here. So you can see how many different questions that were asked where the NLP engine was able to grasp it and provide an accurate answer for these questions. Moving on to the knowledge base. Before I get to how I set up the use case itself, let's talk about the knowledge base. This is a standard knowledge management system. Basic articles, every content manager, as I said before, every business user, content manager can create articles, can create content in here. And we can see we'll go into one of these articles. These are formed in a way of title and body, or if you will, an intent or question and response. Now, in this case, we wanted to set up the use case for I want to reset a user's password. And the response included 2 different parts. The static parts are, basic text. Well, someone, your password has been successfully reset, blah, blah, blah. Another component that we have in this article is these dynamic variables that we provide that are dynamically filled according to the user that we're currently resetting the password for, and the phone number or any other information that we're getting back from Ayehu. That's basically it. This is all a content manager need to do in order to set up a use case. As soon as the content manager will publish this article, it will be immediately available for users out there to start asking these questions. There's no need for any training, no need for recalculating the model or anything like that, things that you might see in other AI solutions. In this case, we do all the hard labor for you. Once you publish, all the indexing, all the training is being done automatically by artificial intelligence and machine learning to provide the user, the business user, with the easiest and effortless experience that can be.